Nobody wants to buy a money pit or make expensive mistakes on their home purchase, and that's exactly what could happen if you miss even one of these 10 crucial elements when it comes to purchasing a house in Pittsburgh. I've helped hundreds of locals and people relocating here to Pittsburgh purchase a house in Pittsburgh, and I've seen many minor and major mistakes, and luckily, when I was involved, I was able to save them from happening. Pittsburgh real estate is very unique, and there's some things you need to know about it before purchasing your house here. So in this video, I'm going to tell you the 10 top mistakes you need to avoid from experience, and each one of these could save you thousands of dollars, a ton of time, and a ton of stress. And if you don't know who I am, I'm Rylee Madden, Pittsburgh's real estate specialist. We help people relocate to Pittsburgh and purchase properties here. So let's get started with number one. Number one is our sewer lines. Dun dun dun, this is a huge one, and we've ran into so many different problems with sewer lines. So I want to be very thorough when I tell you guys this. So Pittsburgh's infrastructure is old. We still rely on clay pipes from decades ago. And some of these pipes are waiting to collapse. Some of them are rusted. Some of them are full of tree roots. And lots of problems could happen. Not only have I seen sewer lines collapse, I've seen them crack, I've seen tree roots stubbed into them, and I've seen some bad rusting. And this is why I always recommend for my clients to get a sewer line inspection along with the home inspection, because this could save you thousands and thousands of dollars. A few buyers I worked with, they were in the process of getting their inspections, they were under contract on their dream home, and then bam, a $16,000 sewer line problem showed up during the camera inspection, and that threw a huge curveball in the home buying process. And this is when you have to be ready to negotiate with the sellers, and that's why it's extremely important to have an agent who's been through these issues before, but also has good communication skills that's able to actually come to a win-win solution, because some boroughs do require the seller to take care of the sewer line, but that's few and far in between. It's starting to become more popular. They will require dye tests by the borough, but not necessarily the sewer line. So there's only a few boroughs that require that. But what we've seen is, in this case, it might be the seller covering everything because it is their house. They will have to deal with that issue down the line, whether our buyers purchase it or not. Or sometimes you see a collaboration where they'll both pitch in to get the work done. It all really depends on everyone's situation, especially the sellers. And there's also something called sewer line insurance, which could be a huge help. It's not that expensive, a couple dollars a month. And this is when you're able to actually get it taken care of by the insurance company, or just get it protected in case there might be some minor signs. But spending a few $100s on a sewer line inspection is going to be imperative to your home purchase, because there is no reason to bypass it and then maybe find out a few years later that your sewer line needs completely redone. Whenever they have to dig, it's an expensive cost. We've seen them over $15,000. So always get a sewer line inspection when you're buying a house in Pittsburgh. Mistake number two, this is a big one, and this is going to be overvaluing cosmetic features. Now, this is something my father personally taught me, as he has a construction company here. He's been investing in real estate and has been in business for over 30 years. And this is something that was always a big lesson. You want to find good bones. You want to find a good location. The cosmetic stuff is the easiest to change. A lot of people get blindsided when they walk into a house. Some people get blinded when they walk into a house and see maybe all new appliances, a new kitchen, but then you get into the basement and you have maybe some bad signs with the foundation, along with the property might need a new roof. It might be getting water into the basement with no sump pump. So the important features in the house just aren't there, but the cosmetics, my father would say, it's like putting lipstick on a pig, basically. You want to make sure that the foundation, the key factors that make a home operable and a sturdy building, is going to be way more important than fresh paint, fresh carpet, and maybe some granite. It's easy to be mesmerized by gleaming hardwood floors, a beautiful redone kitchen. I mean, it all gets to us, right? We see something that looks very nice and we get attracted to it. We like it. We think it's a good property, but you might be missing out on the retaining wall that's slowly slanting and could be a $10,000 to $15,000 cost. So we want to be logical when we're purchasing a house because cosmetics are the easiest thing to change, but the location of the house, the foundation, and the bigger ticket items could add up if they are not already intact. It's kind of like falling for a car because it has a shiny new paint job, only to find out that the engine is about to die. We don't want to get distracted by the sparkle, but we want to focus on what's under the hood. And doing the cosmetic work tends to be a lot less expensive than fixing the foundation or regrading the whole yard because of a water issue. And the cosmetic work is a lot more fun. Number 3 would be buying an old home, but not having the repair budget. Now, the city of Pittsburgh has undeniable charm, but with older homes comes older problems. Think ancient plumbing, leaky roofs, or drafty windows. There's things that you always want to take a good look at when you're buying an older home, such as electrical, plumbing, the roof, and the foundation. Keep in mind also the windows and the HVAC system. Owning a historical home, it's not just a romantic, it's not just charm, but it's a responsibility. It's always important to get a thorough inspection, and like I said, keep that repair budget because you never know what could happen down the line. There's going to be little things here and there. Even if it's just like a little historical feature that starts to wear down a little bit, there's always going to be things when it comes to buying historical homes. So you want to make sure that you set apart a few percent of the purchase price for repairs over the next course of the years you own it. Number 4 is going to be choosing the wrong neighborhood to purchase in. Pittsburgh has over 90 different neighborhoods. They each have their own feeling, their own vibe, their own purchase prices, and their own housing inventory. I once had a client fall in love with a house only to find out that the commute to their work was actually unbearable because of the traffic. Plus, the area had amenities, but not the amenities that they wanted close enough by. And they were really debating on purchasing it. They were literally driving from the house to their work to check out the commute, along with just checking the whole area out. But they ended up not going with it, and they're very thankful for it because now they're in an area that's 5 minutes away from their work, plus has a whole shopping center with everything they need. But they love the home so much that they were almost willing to sacrifice this. And now a year later, they're saying, thank goodness they didn't, because they love their neighborhood, they love their everyday life, and that's when the importance of commute comes in and location. Location is something that you cannot change once you're in there. So things like crime rates are important to look into, but also your daily life, your daily commute, if it's walkable, things you visit often, and what does the growth and appreciation look like? Is there a lot of new construction? That could be a good or bad thing. It depends on your overall priorities. And is it an area you see yourself in for however long you plan to stay in Pittsburgh? And number 5 is underestimating the property taxes. But before that, if you are planning to move to Pittsburgh, our information is in the description below. We'll also throw it up on the screen here. We are your number 1 rated relocation team here in Pittsburgh. We help people every single day from all over the world purchase houses here and relocate here from everywhere in the world. So if you are planning a move here, feel free to reach out to us anytime, and we look forward to helping you find that perfect neighborhood and that perfect home for your move here to Pittsburgh. So underestimating property taxes is something people do almost every single day here. And it's because Pittsburgh property taxes can vary dramatically from just a few miles away. It heavily depends on the school district and the specific borough, and that's why you see huge increases and decreases from neighborhood to neighborhood. One couple I'm currently working with assumed that their property taxes would be the same, only 5 minutes away, and who wouldn't? But we got there, we looked at the listing and realized that the taxes doubled and it did not fit into their monthly goals. So we really narrowed down on specific areas because of that reason. So one thing you really have to understand is taxes vary extremely, even if you're only minutes away, and this will play a huge role in your search here in Pittsburgh. And it's probably something that I hear every single day from people relocating as a priority on their home purchase, their monthly payment. Your lender will talk to you about this as well, but taxes can really raise your monthly payment significantly if you're not careful about what neighborhoods you choose. And some areas with higher taxes do have pros, such as good maintenance, a good community, and great upkeep, and of course, the great school districts. But you could still find that in some areas that taxes might not be as high. So it really depends on your priorities, how bad you want to be in a certain area, and what you're overall looking to spend. And this is why a lot of our clients have been looking in Washington, Butler, Westmoreland counties that are surrounding Allegheny County, because they are a lot more affordable when it comes to the tax side, and you also get the benefits of more land and more new construction options. Mistake number 6 would be skipping the home inspection. Now, it's been about 2 years since the frenzy of the housing market, where you were probably competing with about 20 other buyers, and maybe 5 of them were waiving inspections altogether and going $50,000 over asking price, all cash. But it has not been like that in a while, and during that time, I would still advise clients, do not skip the home inspection. You will regret it, because you might be overpaying for this property and you might not be seeing any of the hidden costs that could add up to thousands and thousands of dollars and put you in financial distress. The home inspection is so important. It's a foundational part of buying a house, and you really want to make sure you have good people for inspectors, which we could recommend. Great inspectors we've worked with numerous times, and it's essential to purchasing a house. They will go in and check everything from the foundation to the roof, let you know everything about the house, way more you would know than just viewing it. So if you're skipping the home inspection, just know you're taking a huge financial risk. And if you're okay with that, you're okay with that. But as a real estate expert, I definitely advise everyone to get a home inspection and make your offer contingent on that inspection. And now that the market has cooled down significantly since how it was 2 years ago, there's definitely room to get inspections, still make the buyer and the seller happy. And mistake number 7 would be not using a savvy agent. When I say savvy, there's a lot of agents who've been in the business for a while, start to take things for granted, start to move a lot slower, don't adapt to the new technology, the more faster and efficient ways to best serve their clients. It's left lots of buyers not ending up getting the properties they want, because in this day and age, things move fast. You have to be speedy and you have to get to it first. And what a lot of clients who've come to me from using different agents, unhappy with their service, has said that they love the creativity that we use, they love how fast we are to respond, and how efficient we are with the technology we use. I mean, I still hear stories of people where their agents have to actually bring the document to their house to actually sign it. Everything's e-sign now, so that is just making unnecessary steps, which is not the best way to go about it. You want to make sure your agent's not only savvy with technology, communication, but also their negotiating skills, different clauses you could put in offers, and really has an eye for the market and an eye for housing. I've been fortunate to grow up in a family that's been doing Pittsburgh real estate for over 30 years, and this is what I do full time. So it's very important to me to serve my clients in the best way possible, but also being able to use technology like nobody else has given me an unfair advantage in the Pittsburgh real estate market. So do your due diligence on your agent and make sure that they're meeting criteria that's important for buying a house today and not 30 years ago. I did just have a couple come to me after missing out on 2 deals with their last agent. And they came to me really because I not only knew the areas, but also the housing market very well. And I properly advised them. I set their expectations. I did not lie or over fluff things like you see a lot of people doing. And we were able to actually beat out 10 other offers on a property they really wanted. The first one we all viewed together, and it was a competitive listing. And they were able to land their dream home and close in just 3 weeks after wasting over a month with somebody else that wouldn't deliver their results. So that's the importance of using an agent that is going to best serve your needs, because they're going to get you in the property of your dreams and make sure that you put up the best fight you can, especially when competing against over 10 other people. And they really realize agents aren't there just to show properties, but they're your secret weapon in negotiations, communication, and keeping an eye on the market for you. Mistake number 8 is going to be not accounting for closing costs. A lot of people don't realize, but you do have to have cash down when you're buying a house. Usually you're putting up a cashier's check, but it's still money you have to bring to closing, and that could range from about 2 to 5% of the purchase price. This includes things like your transfer tax, your down payment, loan fees, title fees, and everything it takes to transfer a property from the seller to the buyer. And this is why it's important to speak to a lender before you begin home shopping, because they will factor in your budget, let you know how much you need to save, how much you would qualify for. And if you don't qualify for it yet, they're going to give you tips on how to save up that money in order to purchase your property. But always use the 2 to 5% as a rule of thumb, and always assume it's the most. That way you could be pleasantly surprised whenever it's not that much. Mistake number 9 would be overlooking the resale value. Even if this is your forever home, life happens. You always want to consider resale value, so think of things like location, schools, and market trends. And this is what your agent can also advise you on as well. You don't want to grow in an area that's not growing, or even worse, is declining. That's basically a rule of thumb. You want to make sure your location has some good signs. This is why I always bring up school districts when I'm talking to people, even if they don't have kids, because the school district does impact a lot about the area, not only when builders will come in, amenities, but also just the overall growth of the area. Usually if it has a high-rated school district, that is a great sign for potential appreciation and potential growth. But you always want to look at key signs in the market, such as where are the stores, the new buildings coming in, where's everybody moving, where are the lower taxes, where's the new construction, where's more land. Things like that will be important. And if you're in the city, think what's walkable, what's coming up, where's the new stores, and what's the places that are going out of business. And when you drive through, they don't look the best. Now, that's just your common sense on picking the right area and thinking about resale value. Now, when it comes to the house itself, resale value, you want to keep the buyers in mind. So think things like cosmetics, think things like the HVAC, the roof, the big important items, because all of this will make the house an attractive buy to the buyers. And also little things like curb appeal make a difference. So keep all of these in mind when purchasing, and really make sure that the property is also priced correctly. That way you're not overpaying and then you have to sell a few years later and you really don't make anything off of it. And mistake number 10 would be failing to look into crime rates. Now, every city has some crime, and our safety is everything. I have many clients who love a property, love its charm, love its price, but then they look into the crime rates and realize that that's why it's priced like that. I always say to make location the #1 priority, because if you do that, it'll honestly help you with all of these things on this list, especially the crime. If the area has higher crime, the resale might not be the best, and your safety might be at risk. So there are great websites where you could check out the crime rates online. If you reach out to us, we'll happily provide you with that, along with any area recommendations we would recommend you live in based on what you're looking for lifestyle-wise. And that comes, again, the importance of having a good advisor in the market. But I always recommend doing a lot of research, do your due diligence, keep watching our videos as we point out great different neighborhoods and great things about the Pittsburgh real estate market. And if you are planning a move here, make sure to reach out, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, DM us on social media. Literally, however you want to get a hold of us, we've got your back when making a move to Pittsburgh, and we are doing this 24/7. This is our goal, this is our passion, and we love relocating people to Pittsburgh and getting them into their dream home. So reach out to us. And if you want to learn more about Pittsburgh neighborhoods, real estate, new construction, you could start by watching our next videos here. And we will see you in the next one.